Hi, I'm Rocco Stano and welcome to StoryMakers. Today we're celebrating a book birthday. The book is Teachers Rock and the creator is Todd Parr. Welcome, Todd. Now, tell us about teachers and Teachers Rock. What was your inspiration?
I love teachers. I appreciate everything that they do. I wanted to write a book that celebrates teachers in general and just keep it real. I wanted to put in everything in there that teachers do every day to take care of kids and make a book about how fun it is to go to school.
You grew up where? In
Wyoming.
Wyoming. So do you have any memories of your school days in Wyoming?
I do. I was in love with all of my teachers, especially Mrs. Judson. And she, I think, looking back, was one of the people that just really encouraged my creativity. I was really interested in like putting on plays and things, and she just encouraged that.
What grade was this?
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade. Mm-hmm. She was one of the teachers who inspired you to become creative. And your style, did you actually develop this style when you were young?
You mean the work of a 6-year-old? This is the only thing that I knew, and believe it or not, this is fine-tuned, and that's probably why I failed art class, because I was supposed to do sculpture and the history of art, which I wasn't interested in. I wanted to draw these simple, bright drawings, so I never progressed, which did not help me get a good grade in art, but now I've come full circle back to saying, the simplicity of my work is what appeals to my audience. Kids look at this and they go, "Hi, I can draw like that." And even when I visit kids, I say, "How many of you can draw better than me? Raise your hands, everyone." Because this is how they relate. It's this complex message with this simple art style, the bright colors, and it really draws them in. And I'm really proud to draw like a 6-year-old.
So there's a spread in this book about teachers reading. And growing up, you had some problems, difficulty learning to read?
I did. In 2nd grade, I could not read and was put in a different school and repeated 2nd grade. And that really, you know, when I visit with kids, they go, "Where do you get your ideas?" It's okay to be different really came from that experience, because once the other kids found out that I had been held back in 2nd grade and I had to have special help reading, they made fun of me, made me feel different. So I've always remembered that, and that is some of the inspiration for the premise of It's Okay to Be Different, was that experience. And it's so important for teachers to know that any comment they make can change someone's life for the better or for the worst, and their words are very powerful. That's why I wanted to celebrate teachers and the fun of going to school.
And we have a picture of you from, I think, second grade. 2nd grade, yeah, let's take a look at that. You had great style back then, too.
Yeah, it was a one-piece shirt. It was a sweater and a shirt. It was sewn together. You put it on over your head, and it was from my favorite store at the time, was Kmart.
So I know it's like asking a parent their favorite child. I'm not going to ask you what your favorite book is, but considering that it is Teachers Rock's birthday, do you have a favorite spread?
I do, and one of the things in writing this book is I wanted to do things that you may not be expecting, and I wanted to really just keep it real and, you know, put in there things like you're going to see kids picking their nose all the time, and there's going to be accidents, and I wanted that stuff in there. So one of the spreads in there deals with that, where it shows the kid picking his nose, teacher there with a tissue, and then on the other spread is actually Pete, my dog. He's sitting in a classroom desk, and there's yellow water on the floor, so he's had an accident.
Oh my.
One of the cool things in this book is it comes with a back-to-school checklist. It's got important things on it as reminders, like do use the tissue to wipe your nose, don't use your finger, wash your hands. I think I have that on there 2 or 3 times. Thank your teacher for being a teacher. And one of the most important things, do wear clean socks, don't make anyone smell them. And I wanted to celebrate that they're also, you know, handing out Kleenex, cleaning up, spending their own money on supplies, and I just wanted to make a book that was real.
And we have 2 others right here. The Goodbye book got lots of recognition, and it deals with saying goodbye. And I know many adults have shed a tear reading the book. How did it come about?
When It's Okay to Be Different first came out, I had a lot of people say, Todd, you know, we're using this book there were so many things people were using it for that I didn't even know about. And one of the things that kept coming up was, do you have any books that deals with saying goodbye, deals with death? And I thought, boy, that's a hard thing to do. And it's been on the list for probably 8 years. And finally, it just hit me one day where I thought, that's it. I know what I'm going to do. Because I knew I wanted to do a book for young children, so I knew I did not want to talk about death, anything specific. I just wanted to do something, a simple premise of what they might be feeling. And that's been on the list probably 8 years. And I thought, well, that's a really complicated thing to write about for this young audience.
You mentioned a list. So do you actually keep a list of topics for future books?
It changes all the time, and I guess there's a real list about what's really probably going to happen, and then there's other things on there that definitely won't, like Mrs. Toodle's Poodle Noodle. That's probably not going to happen, but I do have other things on there. I just want to keep writing about things that help kids feel good about who they are and understand that we're all different, and that's a good thing, and to be nice and to respect others, and I think you can't write enough about that.
Do you take suggestions from people for book topics?
I do. I think the one you're holding, It's Okay to Make Mistakes, I was hearing that a lot from people that said kids are they're really afraid to take chances because they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to fail, therefore they're not learning. So I decided to write a book about that, and actually you're holding it the wrong way. It should be the other way. See, you do this, and you start out, and then everyone tells you, the book's upside down, and you're like, uh-oh, I made a mistake.
I gotcha.
And then you fix it. So
okay.
Even adults make mistakes.
This is true.
That's how we learn.
Well, your books are on the New York Times bestseller list.
Some of my books have made the New York Times list, which, you know, is an honor. It's an achievement to do that. But I never set out to write to be on the New York Times or any of these things. It's just, first of all, this is what I want to do. Second of all, I can help make a difference in the world and with kids. And that in itself is a huge reward.
You're involved with a number of philanthropies and getting kids involved in giving back. So can you describe a few of those projects?
I think it's really important to get kids involved in giving back. And I think as soon as you can introduce kids into that spirit of helping others, I think it makes them a better person. I like to help animals and people, and I think books are so important for kids. There's so much need in the world that any little thing that you can do to help others is just the right thing to do. It's what I want to do. You know, I love macaroni and cheese. It's well known in my bio, and you know, kids relate to that. So I encourage just simply for kids to bring in boxes of macaroni and cheese in their school for my event, and then we donate it to the local food bank. They're just really simple things that you can do, or all the way up to my partnership with Stouffer's, where created a book about spending time together with your family at dinner, and the proceeds went to Habitat for Humanity. The need is so great, as you know. I try and do everything I can.
And you weren't always a book creator, you were a flight attendant for a while. How does one go from being a flight attendant to a creator of children's books, more than 40 of them?
I didn't do great in art class, and so I decided not to pursue art. I went on, figured, well, what else would I would like to do? And I thought, well, I'd like to discover the world. I got the job. I thought it was the thing to do. And I got out. I did get to see the world. And one of the things that really helped me with was build my confidence, because I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. Seeing how big the world was, but being able to go and learn about so many different things, it just made me a stronger person. And I kept coming back to this art thing. You love art, Todd. Why don't you do something with art? And so I decided to start putting my artwork on all kinds of things for people to buy. Clothes, things that I sold at Macy's, boxer shorts, ties. I had my grandmother sew ties, and I was selling all this stuff out of my suitcase on the airplane to other flight attendants. And then that led me into the publishing, and you know, I did my first 4 books while I was still flying, and I think I was working on the next ones. And I just finally decided that I was ready to go out into the world of children's publishing and and sink or swim.
So each of your books ends with a message. What's the message for this book?
Well, it's become my signature thing now. People go right to the message or say, Todd, that's what we look for the most in your books. But in this one specifically, it's teachers are very special. They help take care of you. They help you learn new things. Be sure and thank them every day.
Teachers rock.
The end. Love, Todd.
The end. Love, Todd and Rocco.
And Rocco, yes.
So remember, until next time, give a kid a book in any format.